Okay, since we have another snow day, we're going to move the test back to Monday, and we will do review Friday. I would like to go over the review with you and answer all your questions you have. So right now you must have done the whole review sheet, and I will be posting the answer key to that so that you can check that and come with your questions on Friday. I'm going to do, I don't want to lose any time here, so I'm going to move on to chapter 0.6, 0.6, which is factoring. It's just the opposite of what we've done in 0.5. Factoring, I'm going to do all different kinds of factoring today. The first one is the common factor. Common factor, and I'll show you how it's just the opposite from what we've done in the previous chapter. First example, AX plus AY. AX plus AY. We have A as a common factor in each term. The terms are separated by pluses and minuses, so we want to make this into a multiplication. So we take out the A as a common factor and we ask ourselves, what do we have to multiply A by to get AX? We need an X there. Plus, what do we multiply A by to get AY? We need to put a Y down there. So those are the factors, A times X plus Y. You will note that in the previous chapter, they gave us this part, and we need to multiply it out to get to this. Now we're doing the opposite. We have to take out a common factor, or we have to factor it so that we have it in multiplication form. So let's do a few more of these. 6x cubed, 6x cubed plus minus 4x. Minus 4x. Now we look at the numbers first, the 6 and the 4. What can we take out that can go into both of those without any remainder, and that would be 2. Of the x cubed and the x, we take the one with the least exponent. X to the first power, that's the one we take out. Now we're going to have parentheses again. 2x times what gives me 6x cubed. 2x times 3 is 6. X times x squared gives me x cubed. Minus 2 times what gives me 4. 2x times what gives me 4x. 2 times 2x times 2, and x times, yeah, there you go. So there are the factors. We can always check it after we factored it, multiply it out, and distribute and see if you get this side. Right, another one, 2x cubed minus 12x to the 4th, 2x cubed minus 12x to the 4th, and plus 6x. I'm just following the course packet, so you can follow there as well. I'm going to put this in this line here. 2, 12, and 6, common factor is 2. X to the 3rd, x to the 4th, x, common factor is x, the one with the least exponent, right? Now we ask ourselves, 2x times what gives me x cubed? 2x times x squared. 2x times what gives me negative 12, negative 6, and we need an x cubed there. Remember, we add the exponents. And 2x times what gives me 6x? 2x times 3. There you go. And always check that it's fully factored, that there's nothing else we could also take out in the after we've factored it all. Alright, let's do one more. 5x squared minus 25x. I think the 5x squared minus 25. It seems as if it's x to the 3rd. 25x to the 3rd. Alright, what can we take out? We have a 5 for the 5 and the 25. X squared, x to the third. I can take out the one with the least exponent, right? What do we multiply 5x squared by to get 5x squared? A 1. People tend to think it's not important. You have to put the 1 there. If I have two terms here, I have to have two terms in my parentheses. Minus 5x squared times 5, and we need another x there. There you go, and there are the factors. We'll do a class exercise soon, but let's just move on to the next type. That was common factor. And when we factor, make sure that's the very first step we look at. See if there's a common factor, and then go from there. We'll do some mixed problems soon as we're ready for it. Difference between two squares. Difference between two squares. Now the most common one is a squared minus b squared. We've had that before. We just had it the other way around, right? A plus b times a minus b. In the previous chapter, this is what we had, and we had to go multiply it out. Now we give you this, and you have to give the factors. So nobody's going to show this on any cheat sheet or a formula sheet. You need to know the difference between two squares is a plus b, a minus b. So how about if I have 9x squared minus 4? 9x squared minus 4. How do I recognize it? I see the minus. It's only two terms, and it's a minus there. And this one is a complete square, and this one is a complete square. Because 9 is 3 squared, and x squared is, x squared, and 4 is 2 squared. So we go the 3x plus 2 and 3x minus 2. It's really the square root of 9x squared and the square root of 4. Right? A difference between two squares. And one more, 16a squared minus 16a squared minus 25b squared. Again, there's a minus, and it's only two terms. There's no common factor. Square root of 16 is 4a plus 5b, and 4a minus 5b. Alrighty, that's the difference between two squares. We're going to jump over the perfect square. We'll do that when we do the trinomials. Next one is sum and difference of two cubes. Let's do number 4 there. Sum or difference of two cubes. Sum or difference of two cubes. Now the formula, and I'll give you these two formulas. A cubed plus b cubed is a plus b times a squared minus ab, a squared minus ab plus b squared. And this difference between two cubes, and then I'll show you how we're going to apply this. A minus b there, and the rest is all going to be pluses. A squared plus ab plus b squared plus b squared. And note that this is not 2ab, it's just a times b. Alright? But yeah, I will give you these two formulas for the test so that you don't have to go memorize it, but it's a good thing to have it in your, in your head. It's so much easier. Note that if that's a plus, we have a minus there. That's a minus, if that's a plus, we have a plus and a minus. If that's a minus, we have only a minus there. The rest are all pluses. Okay, but yeah, I'll give you the formula. So let's do a few examples there. The one we have in the course packet is some difference between two cubes. X cubed plus 8. All right, x cubed plus 8. Now if you want to, you can first write it as x cubed plus 2 cubed. So that you can see, okay, it's a sum of 2 cubes, right? Sum of 2 cubes. So if you notice there, a cubed plus b cubed is just a plus b. So we're going to just have x plus 2 here. And then we have a squared, which is now going to be x squared, with a minus there. A times b, this is a and this is b, so it's 2x. And then plus b squared, this is b squared is going to be 4. Let's write this underneath there so that you guys can see. This is really a plus b, a squared minus ab plus b squared. So what I did, I replaced the a with an x and a b with a 2. A with an x and a b with a 2. And that's how we're going to apply the formula. Let's do one more. The last one I have there is common difference between two cubes, 27x cubed minus 1. (27x cubed minus 1). If you want to, you can go ahead and say that's 3x everything cubed minus 1 everything cubed. Now I'm going to write the formula right underneath it. A cubed minus b cubed is a cubed minus b cubed, right? A is 3x and b is 1. And the formula there will be a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared, right? So now I'm going to do the problem. 27 x cubed, so it's 3x cubed minus 1 cubed. I'm going to replace the a with a 3x and the b with a 1. So it's going to be 3x minus 1. 3x squared will be 9x squared, plus a times b is 3x times 1 plus 1 squared, which is 1. There you go. And this part will not be able to factor any further. There you go with the sum and difference of two cubes. And the last one I want to do today is grouping. Grouping, then we'll have enough to work on next time. So I'm going to do grouping here. In my course packet it is number 5. Grouping is very similar to common factor. It's just a whole parentheses that you take out. Let's just do one like, it's already grouped for me. If I have a times x minus y plus b times x minus y. In this case, I have x minus y as my common factor, right? So we go, take out x minus y, and I'm left with a plus b. So on grouping, we take out a whole common factor. But most of the times, it's not already in groups like this. So let me grab the example in the course packet. X cubed minus 2x squared. X cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 6. Minus 3x plus 6. And now the first thing we need to notice is we have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. 4 terms, 4, 6, 8 terms is always grouping. Always grouping. How do we group this? We take these two and these two. We can reorganize it, just the way we want it. But let's take the first two together and then the second two. Don't put it in parentheses. That means totally a different thing. Just group them like this. And now we say, okay, on these two, the first two I can take out an x squared. And I'm left with x minus 2. Right? It's really just taking out the common factor for the first two. Now I know I have to have, like there, I have to have two exact same parentheses. They have to be similar. So I know I'm going to have the second parentheses to be x minus 2. So what can I take out? From negative 3x plus 6 to be left with x minus 2 in parentheses. I take out a negative 3. When I multiply that out, I get negative 3x plus 6. Right? So now I have my two similar parentheses. That's my common factor. I put it up front. And I'm left with x squared minus 3. Let's do that again. Just make sure you do not forget to put that sign in between the two groups. We have two groups. Let's do this. We have this group and we have this group. And there's always going to be a sign in between the two groups. So, let's do another one. 3x cubed plus 5x squared. That's a B. 3x cubed plus 5x squared minus 6x minus 10. Minus 6x minus 10. We see 1, 2, 3, 4 terms, so I know it's going to be grouping. So I group the first two and the last two together. Alright, for the first two, I can take out an x squared. I'm left with 3x plus 5. Now I know 3x plus 5 has to be there. When I do grouping, that cannot be anything else. Now for the negative 6x minus 10, what do I have to take out to be left with 3x plus 5 in parentheses? A negative 2. Just check it, negative 6x, negative 10. Yes. So now I have my common factor there, that I take it out, 3x plus 5, and I'm left with x squared minus 2. Alright, now we're ready for the class exercise. I'm going to do that on the next page because actually I have not done perfect square. So we'll just do the class exercise without the perfect square. I want to do that next time. So I'm going to go over the class exercise. Since we're not in class, we're just going to do it together. 3 minus 12x squared. 3 minus 12x squared. You guys are following me on the course packet, right? First of all, look for a common factor. Yes, there's a common factor. I can take out a 3 and I'm left with 1 minus 4x squared. Take out a 3 and I'm left with 1. See, that's 3 minus 12x squared when I multiply it out. But now I see I can 1 minus 4x squared can be factored further because it's a difference between two squares, right? So we can go 3, 1 minus 2x, and 1 plus 2x. Doesn't matter whether you write 1 minus 2x or 1 plus 2x first, that's fine. There you go, it's completely factored. Do not stop there, you're gonna lose a point if you do not factor it further. Always look for the common factor first, and then maybe difference between two squares, maybe sum and difference of two cubes, right? Second one on the class exercise, 16x to the fourth minus 81. 16x to the fourth minus 81. There's no common factor. 1681, nothing. Okay, so we have a difference between two squares because square root of 16 is 4, square root of 81 is 9. So we're going to go 4x to the second minus 9 and 4x x to the second plus 9. Square root of 16, square root of 81. And square root of x to the fourth is x to the second. So it's square root minus square root plus square root. And again, this one can factor further because it's a difference between two squares. Sum of two squares can never factor further unless you can take out a common factor. So I'm just going to go further with this one. 2x minus 3, 2x plus 3, and do not leave that one up there. It needs to come down to the answer. Now we have 1, 2, 3 factors there. That one cannot go further. So let's just do this. This one could factor into those two, but that one just came down to the answer as it is. Because it's a sum of two squares, it cannot factor. Right? Let me just get to the next one. Alright, the next one on the class exercise is, got to change my color here. The next one is x plus 2 minus y squared. Now, this is really like a squared minus b squared. It's a difference between two squares, right? Difference between two squares. So that would be the square root of x plus 2 squared is just x plus 2. Minus y and x plus 2 plus y. That is the square root of x plus 2 squared. Okay, there you go. We're done. X plus 2 minus y, x plus 2 plus y. Alright, we're going to jump to number 5 because number 4 is a complete square and we haven't done that one. X cubed minus 27. X cubed minus 27. That is really x cubed minus 3 cubed. So I have a difference between two cubes, right? So I'm using my formula x minus 3, which is a minus b, a squared plus ab plus b squared. A being x, b being 3. And I'm done. Number 6 is an interesting one because that's a mix. We have 3, it's at x to the third plus 192. First of all, I see I can take out a common factor 3 because 3 can go into 3 goes into 192. 3 times 6, 64. First take out the common factor. You cannot do anything if you have no. Now I have a sum of two cubes. Look at this. X cubed plus 4 cubed. 64 is 4 cubed. I'm going to give you some real, all the cubes that you guys can try to memorize. Okay, now we have a sum of two cubes. X plus 4 and then x squared minus 4x plus 16 by just applying my formula. Let's do a few groupings. Number 7. Just do a to the third minus a squared plus 5a minus 5. Alright, grouping. 4 terms grouping. Take out a squared, I'm left with a minus 1. Take out, now I know I have to a minus 1 has to be there, so I can take out a positive 5 there. And I'm left with a minus 1 and a squared plus 5. And a squared plus 5 cannot go anywhere. Number 8 is also a grouping, right? Number 8. 7x cubed minus 21x squared, 7x cubed minus 21x squared plus 2x minus 6. Grouping, grouping, take out a 7x squared and I'm left with x minus 3. So I have to have x minus 3 there. Now we take out a positive 2 and I'm left with x minus 3 and 7x squared plus 2. we might just as well do all of them, and then I'm going to give you some real nice numbers. Number 9 there. X cubed plus 3x squared. X cubed plus 3x squared minus 4x minus 12 minus 4x minus 12. Alright, grouping. X squared, I'm left with x plus 3, so I have to have x plus 3 in my parentheses there. What do we take out? A negative 4. So we're left with x plus 3 and x squared minus 4. Aha! X squared minus 4 again is a difference between two squares. So I'm bringing x plus 3 down as it is, and the difference between two squares, x minus 2, x plus 2. Do not forget, you have to bring down that one. People tend to leave it up there, and the difference between two squares goes there. Alright, and the last one is number 10. I'm going to do it on the next page. It's a cubed plus 125. A cubed plus 125. Now you have to be able to recognize 125 as 5 cubed. And I'm going to give you all those cubes so that you guys can just familiarize yourself with all the numbers that are cubes and also all the numbers that are squares. Now we have a sum of 2 cubes. So that's going to simply be a plus b and a squared plus ab, 5 times a, plus b squared, which is 5 squared, which is 25. Alrighty, so let me give you those numbers that I was talking about. Okay, I just wrote down all these real important numbers. You need to be able to recognize the numbers here on this side. 1 is 1 squared. Oh, now I'm messing this up. 1 is 1 squared. 4 is 2 squared. 9 is 3 squared. 16 is 4 squared. 5 squared, 6 squared, 7 squared, 8 squared, 9 squared, 10 squared, 11 squared, 12 squared, 13 squared. That's maybe yeah, that's just about as far as we usually go at 169. The cubes, 1 can also be a cube. 8 is 2 cubed, 3 cubed, 4 cubed, 5 cubed, 6 cubed, and 10 cubed is also a popular one. So familiarize yourself with these so that you can recognize these numbers as, you know, when you see them, you know, oh, there's a 121, there's a possibility of difference between two squares. When you see 125, there's a possibility of difference, sum or difference of 2 cubes. And then there's, you know, 1 belongs to both of them. And the other one is 64, I think. Yes. 64 is the other one. 64 can be either different, you know, a square, or it can be a cube. Depends on the other number in the problem. Alright, so there are the really nice numbers. You really need to familiarize yourself with that. So let's write down the homework. Homework for, oh dear, hold on 1 second. Okay, so here's your homework. I divided it up. So the homework on 0.6 will be for Wednesday next week after the test. And you're only going to do these assigned problems because we have not done the trinomial and the complete square yet. And then the homework for Friday, just go over the review sheet, come with all your questions, do the review sheet which is in the course packet. And remember, there's a web assign number 3 is due Friday. The test will then be on Monday, February 10th. Okay, I will see you guys on Friday, hopefully. Have a good day. Bye-bye.